Hello, welcome to La Excellence. Our first issue is Supreme Court's hearing on mass surveillance. Recently, the Pegasus issue has been raised in the Parliament. Many petitions were filed in the Supreme Court. Supreme Court, in this mass surveillance case, has said that it is going to consider this particular issue. Surveillance in India is conducted under Telegraph Rules and IT Act 2000. But mass surveillance of this kind, which is alleged, is one, if it is done by the government, it is going to be illegal under IPC. If it is not by the government, it is going to be a huge cyber security concern. So, in this context, the Supreme Court is going to hear this particular case in the next week. Next issue is Siachen Glacier. Recently, Claw Global. This will lead a group of differently able people to attempt world record in trekking Siachen Glacier. Siachen Glacier is world's highest battlefield. It is now under India's control. Siachen Glacier is located in Karakoram range of Trans-Himalayas. It is to the northeast point of NJ 984. This point is important because Pakistan argues that from NJ 984 point LOC goes south, India argues that it goes north. Then in between there is this glacier. In this conflict zone there is this glacier known as Siachen Glacier. Under Operation Meghdut, India has scaled the heights of Siachen Glacier. From 1984 onwards, we have control over this particular glacier. Next issue is General Insurance Bill 2021. Recently, the cabinet has approved and the government is trying to introduce General Insurance Business Nationalization Amendment Bill 2021. This particular amendment is trying to remove the requirement of central government to hold not less than 51% of share in the general insurance. That means government wants to go for enhancing the private sector participation. That is the one of the objectives, greater private participation in the public sector insurance companies. Second one is to enhance the insurance penetration and social protection. Third, for better and to secure the interests of policy holders. These are some of the provisions of this objectives of this bill. There are 4 general insurance companies in the public sector. One is National Insurance Company Limited, 2 is New India Assurance Company Limited, 3 is Oriental Insurance Company Limited, 4th one is United India Insurance Company Limited. These are 4 general insurance companies under public sector. There are many in private sector. These are public sector general insurance companies. Now, under Budget 21-22, government has announced that it is going to privatize 2 public sector banks and 1 general insurance company. As of now, it has not finalized which general insurance company is going to be privatized. As of now, government has not announced, but these are 4 public sector general insurance companies. One will be privatized with these objectives. Recently, general insurance bill is introduced with these 4 objectives. Next one is ICT informing, information communication technology. Informing ICT technology, especially with the growing mobile phone technology, mobile communication technology, is encouraging innovations in the field of agriculture. There are many apps which can share the knowledge on various subjects like how to use PVC pipes, how to go for crop management, what is the weather condition of the day. So, likewise, there are many apps through which information can be disseminated. Social networking sites and knowledge sharing can be done through online platforms. These are all providing technology based solutions for the farmers. Farmers can get to know what are the better agricultural practices, what is the better agricultural market price. These all the things can be reached through ICT. But then there are certain issues. Digital divides are there, digital literacy issues are there. These needs to be addressed. Digital infrastructure needs to be provided. Then ICT can become a better tool for agriculture and farmer welfare. Next, let us understand the editorials. First one is Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation Amendment Bill. We have this law, Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation Law. This DICGC, Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation, is wholly owned body under RBI. This covers deposit insurance of all commercial and cooperative banks. That means whenever a bank goes bankrupt, the depositors will be given up to 5 lakh rupees. As of now, earlier it was 1 lakh rupees in 1993. Now we raised it to 5 lakh rupees. That means, let's say if I save 3 lakh rupees, now if the bank goes bankrupt, I will be given 3 lakh rupees. So maximum limit is 5 lakh rupees. After that, let's say if I save 10 lakhs, then also I will be given 5 lakh rupees. Now, with this particular body, government wants to make some changes. What are they? Earlier, there were no time limits. There was no time limit fixed. That means, let's say if Punjab Maharashtra Cooperative Bank, that is under moratorium. Now, when should the deposit and credit guarantee insurance company should pay the money? There was no clear timeline. Now, this particular bill is trying to provide for 90-day deadline. 90-day deadline within which this DICGC provides for the deposit insurance to the customers of the troubled banks. Now, in India, as of now, 98% of all bank accounts have less than balance of 5 lakh rupees. In this case, this kind of guarantee will protect more 98% of all accounts in India. And there are many banks that are under distress. So these banks, if there is a timeline, that will add more value and trust for the customers. Next issue is law and lawmakers. In Kerala, in 2015, in their legislative assembly, some of the members have destroyed the infrastructure furniture when the government was trying to introduce the budget. In this case, the assembly secretariat has filed case against those lawmakers. At the time, opposition party became the ruling party now. Now, ruling party, through the public prosecutor, is trying to withdraw the cases. Then that has become a serious issue. How can a public prosecutor withdraw the cases? In general, withdrawal of cases is voluntary. They can do that. But in this case, when there is clear evidence of vandalism, how can they withdraw it? Then that case went to Kerala High Court. Kerala High Court said, yes, there is merit in this case. Again, it is appealed in the Supreme Court. Now, Supreme Court has said that, yes, in the legislative assembly, they have legislative privileges. Right to protest is there. But they don't have the right to behave in an unruly manner and destroy the public property. All the chairs and the things that they have destroyed, they come under public property. They don't have that right. Yes, they have freedom of speech. Yes, they have other privileges. But that doesn't mean they don't have any legal responsibility. So, legal immunity is not there. Absolute legal immunity is not there for their actions in the legislative assembly. So, that's why for unruly behavior, they need to be charged under penal provision. 2. This decision re-verifies that prosecutor, in withdrawing the ongoing criminal cases, he or she has to consider the merit of the case. Randomly, they cannot withdraw the case. Now, this is essential. This now is essential because parliamentary disruptions, these are become more and more prominent now. Disruptions are happening everywhere in parliament, legislative assembly. Disruptions and protests, they are good, but then continuous disruptions, damaging the public property, uncivil behavior, these are the issues. So this will lessens the trust and respect on the democratic systems and the parliamentary systems. These needs to be protected. And final issue is Himalayan countries and changing geopolitics and the importance of these countries. We have Nepal, Bhutan, India, Pakistan, China. These come under transitional Himalayan countries. We have many missions. See, all these countries, especially Pakistan and China, they have formed an axis. Nepal has become closer to China. Bhutan and India are comparatively closer. In this context, most of the times when we look at this particular region, we look at it from the geostrategic perspective only. But then there are other aspects which can be considered, like National Mission on Himalayan Studies that provides for research and technological innovations for protecting the Himalayan ecosystem. So, protection of ecosystem, economic issues, social issues, connectivity, there are other issues too. So, Himalayan region and the foreign policy need not only focus with the geopolitics, they can consider other areas of cooperation. These are today's articles. Thank you very much. All the very best.